Hi, and welcome to Paper Root Scrapbooking. I'm Nadine, and today I'm going to show you how I organize my digital photos. Okay, so the first part of this series on photo organization is going to be how I organize my digital photos. So this is just my basic pictures menu on my desktop. In Windows, I use a PC. And I simply, to begin with, took all of my digital photos and put them into folders by year. So if the picture was taken in 2011, it went into 2011. Now that was pretty simple because digital photos already have data attached to them. So for example, if I go in here and I click on a photo, and I just hover my mouse over top of that photo, it tells me, oh, that's not a good example because I don't know where that came from, but it tells me that, that it's a JPEG file and what date it was taken. So it makes it easy to organize by date. So, or by year, I guess. So that's how I started, is just by putting everything in by year. Then to make things a little bit easier on my scrapbooking, I decided to organize every year into folders based on how I scrapbook. So every year, each child has their own albums. So each of my children, Aiden, Brandon, and Joshua, all have a birthday album, a sports album, and a school album. And so that's how I organized um, I put all of their photos separately. So I didn't put each school whatever in here, but I did label them. So if I wanted to find something from Aiden's birthday, then I would search this folder and put birthday, and it would show me his birthday photos from that year. Okay, so that's how I did that. And so each year has folders inside. So Aiden had one, Brandon had one, and Joshua had one for their individual photos and things that were just about them. So if I scrapbooked something about Brandon, it would go in Brandon's book. If I scrapbooked something about Aiden, it would go in Aiden's book. Then I also scrapbook Christmas separately. I have certain albums that are just for Christmas. So then I have a folder that has just all of my Christmas photos inside of there. So this is Christmas 2012. It's in my 2012 folder. It's in my 2012 folder and then inside of my Christmas folder. And then I also scrapbook Easter and Halloween in the same way. They each have their own albums. And then for our just general family photos, I just labeled them according to the season. So spring and winter goes from January to June. And then, oh my gosh, he was so cute. This kid is so grown up. Okay, anyways, distracted. Um, Spring and winter goes from January to June. Then summer, July, and August, that's where most of our pictures, I think, are taken. And then I just labeled them. What were we doing? Here we were at Callaway Park, uh, Discovery Canyon, a drive-in movie, parade day. And so it kind of gives me a little bit of an idea what I'm looking for so that I can, so that I know where to look if I'm looking for a specific theme, for example, to scrapbook with. And this is a hyper organized way of organizing your digital photos. I know that my mom, for example, would look at this and be like, no way am I taking all of that time to organize my photos that carefully because it's too much work, and that's okay. I do this for myself because it makes my printing easier, and otherwise my brain gets confused and frustrated, and then I don't want to print the photos, which means I don't scrapbook, etc., etc. I have to be very organized in order for me to find my way to creativity. So that's just how my brain works. And I organize it in the way that works for me. Everybody does this differently. I'm just showing you what I did. And hopefully that will help somebody find their way. Um, Another way you might do this is that, right, like this is done chronologically, sort of, right? So it's like by year, but then in the kids' folders, for example, it's not in any chronological order. It's more just based by the tags so that I can look things up: birthday, school, whatever. And somebody else might find this too grueling to organize by year. It's easy for me now because I just, when I download my photos, they go into this folder, right? So I'm in 2021. When I download my photos at the end of July 2021, they're all going to go into my July folder or into my 2021 folder, and I can organize them from there when I'm on the plane, when I'm watching TV, whatever. Once they're downloaded in there, it's easy for me to find the time to organize them. It does not take me very long. But back when I first started this process, yes, it did take me a very long time to get it going. But once I had it in the way that I wanted it and that made sense to me and that worked with my scrapbooking, I became so much more productive, like so much more. So I would suggest that if you, for example, scrapbook in let's say Stacy Julian's Library of Memories format. Maybe you don't have year folders. Maybe you have the people we love, the places we love, the things we love. Maybe those are your folders. Maybe if you're an Ali Edwards style story scrapbooker, maybe you have a folder for fishing. Maybe you have a folder for camping. Maybe you have a folder for day in the life. Maybe you have a folder for December daily. You can do this in any format you want, but I'm telling you, once you get it organized into the way that you want to scrapbook it, you're going to find that you're much, much more productive. So once it's organized, it's important to keep up to it. So this is obviously like a hyper organized way. There is also a lot, I have to mention this, there is also a lot of easy ways to figure out what goes where. So I don't know if you've been into Google software lately, but if you open your photos in Google Photos and you type in the word baby, every baby photo you have in all of your photos is going to show up. So if you type in golf, all of your golfing photos are going to show up. So if that's the way that you like to scrapbook, let's say by here's my golfing photos, here's my fishing photos, that is a really useful tool in terms of organization. Okay, so another thing I wanted to talk about is keeping up to the photos. So I don't know about you guys, but with the invention of the iPhone, where you have a camera in your pocket, a good camera in your pocket, 24 hours a day, basically. Well, I guess it's not in my pocket when I'm sleeping, but you know what I mean. You basically have it on you everywhere you go, anything you do. If you're in the bathroom at the airport, you have your phone with you. So if the sign in front of you is very interesting, you might snap a picture of it. If you are, at the beach with your family, you're probably going to have your iPhone, and take all the photos. I know when my kids were little and we had like film photography, we might take the camera to the beach if we remembered it. We might take 5 or 6 photos of the beach. Now, if I go to the beach with my grandkids, I have like 50 photos at the end of the day. So what I do with those 50 photos is at the end of the day, when I crawl into bed and I need some time to unwind, I open my phone and I go through my photos. So let's say I was at my grandkids' house and so here's a good example. On this particular day, we went to a playground and it was a very cool playground. And so I would go through each and every photo that we took at the playground. When I had originally taken these photos, I had about 25 pictures of him going down the slide. And I deleted all of the other pictures and just kept my favorite 2 because I don't need 25 pictures of him going down the slide. I only need 1 or 2. Same with, oh, here's another one, him in this little house. It took me probably 30 photos to get a picture of the kid looking at the camera. So I went through and deleted all the ones where he wasn't looking at the camera, and I'm left with 3 out of 30 photos. Then he was spinning this little thing. I did not get a single photo of him looking at me, but I picked the 2 that I liked the most. Oh, there, I did get one of him looking at me. Here I sat him up on this tree and tried to get him to smile at me, and he was just being such a cheese ball. So I got to keep 3 of them, right? So if you go to the park and you take 50 photos of your kids, maybe go through it at the end of the day and pick your 2, 3, maybe 5 favorite photos and delete the rest. You don't need them all. And it will help to reduce that overwhelm and that clutter out of your scrapbooking life, right? So then if we're talking about the daily delete of going through your phone, now maybe like today, I basically didn't have anything to do today that was of any interest. I did some housework, I took a nap, I went to the pharmacy, I stopped at the gas station, I fed the dog, I had supper, like nothing worth writing home about, right? So I didn't take any pictures today, so I don't need to do a daily delete. But when I also, the other time that I will delete things that are not important off of my phone is when I upload my pictures to, from iCloud, sorry, download my pictures from iCloud onto my computer, and I'll go through my pictures. So anything that doesn't belong, let's say in, in Quentin's folder or Emmy's folder or Aiden's folder, because those are the 3 kids that I'm primarily scrapbooking at the moment, it goes into my winter spring folder, and now I need a summer folder. I will for July, right? And so those things go in here. And then when I'm going through them, if I don't think that they're worth keeping, so I find I have a lot of screenshots. I have pictures of things from work that I needed to, take a photo of something and send it to my coworkers or to the behavior specialist or whatever. I don't keep that stuff. I delete it. It's not that I don't have any pictures of work. I do. I'll try not to scroll down far enough to show those because for privacy purposes of my students, but I delete all the things. This would have been another one. I took pictures of us at the restaurant. Well, my son did. Now, when he was taking pictures of us, he was also being a cheese ball and took like pictures of up his nose and pictures of under the table. And I was like, okay, don't need those, right? I just need the pictures of us at the table. So feel free to delete. See, here's one where I'm like, I didn't delete this, but I don't know why, because I don't need a picture of Xena with her eyes closed. And so I'm just going to delete that one. This is much cuter. Isn't she adorable? This is my son's girlfriend's dog, and I was dog sitting. I just adore her. She won't come anywhere near me when her mom's around. So then we have the daily delete is very important, but then also when you're monthly downloading your photos onto your computer, and don't feel like you have to go all the way back to 1994 and start from scratch. Start wherever you're comfortable with. Start today. Download the photos from the month of June and organize them and see how you want them. How do you want them? Do you want them just in a folder that says June 2021? That's perfect. Do you want to make a folder that just maybe inside of your year folder, when you download at the end of the month, maybe you just put a title on it that says January 2021, February 2021, March 2021. If that's how your brain thinks, absolutely that's the way you should do it. And it would also make it much easier on you. Maybe that's a great way to start. And then later, if you find you want to do something different, go for it. Now, another thing I wanted to talk to you about is in my pictures folder, I also have this folder right here called To Print. So recently I was working on my grandson's April photos from 2019 from his first year album. And I had a little sticky note on there that said, uh, you know, photo shoot, cake smash, newborn recreations, family photos, and there was something else in there. Anyway, so I started printing them on my Epson PictureMate 400. And because they're such high quality photos from a professional photographer, it was taking an eternity. So I put the pictures into a folder. So I basically took all of the pictures. Now I'll show you the original, and I will link her website down below. She's a fantastic photographer. She is no longer in the Pembroke area of Ontario, though. She has moved, but I can't remember where offhand. But I will link her website down below. She's awesome. Her name is Sandra. So that was 2019, and Quentin's first year, and then his cake smash photos. So look at how many there are. Okay, so did I want to print all of these? No, I did not. So I went back to my to print folder. I copied and pasted all of them in here, that whole folder. And then I went through and I decided I was going to print 24 photos because I had, what do you call it, pocket page that had 4x6 photos horizontal on one side, 6 on the other. And so I thought that is perfect. I'll do 24 pictures and that will be what's in his little book. So I picked my favorites and I started, like I said, I started printing them on my Epson PictureMate. It was taking forever because of the high quality photos. And so I decided, no, I'm not going to sit here and do this. This is driving me nuts. So I just copied the whole folder into the London Drugs website, which is where I print my photos. It'd be like Walgreens or any pharmacy that does photo printing. And I sent them to there for their 1-hour photo, and I picked them up when I went to my dentist appointment. And so and I added on the other ones that were professional photos that I knew would take a long time to print as well. So then if you send 40 photos, I think you save 4 cents per print. So I made sure I had 40 or whatever it was that I had to have. And I sent those all in and I picked them up. And that's how I use my to print folder. I use it both for printing from my Epson PictureMate if I'm printing from my computer. And I have one on my phone as well, so that if I want to print something from my phone, it goes in there first, and then I can scroll through and find my favorite photos. And then I print them or I send them for print. If I have like 300 photos, I don't sit here and print them on my Epson PictureMate. Like if we go on a trip or, we had a new granddaughter, we had hundreds of photos, so I sent them to print. And I don't worry about too much editing or anything like that. I feel like that's not the important part. The important part is telling the story and having the picture. That's just my own personal feeling on it, and that's just how I do things. Everybody does it differently. There's never any wrong way to go about doing this, as long as you're doing it. And I think the most important thing I need to tell you guys is to back up your digital photos in more than one place biannually. So I take every year in January after Christmas is over, I will go into my computer and I copy and paste all of my saved photos onto an external hard drive. So all of these go onto an external hard drive. And then in June, I go again and I download or I copy and paste all of these photos into a document or into a external hard drive, so that when my computer crashes or my phone gets dropped in the hot tub, I have my pictures. So I can, if I lose 1 month's worth of pictures, that's a lot less devastating than losing the last 5 years, right? So if I do this every month and I have them on my computer every month, and then I have them on my external hard drive every 6 months, I'm way less likely to lose every photo I own, right? I don't want to be left heartbroken. And I also really strongly encourage you to back up your photos on off-site as well. So here's the thing. Yes, if you have an iPhone, everything automatically uploads to iCloud, right? And you might think, well, my photos are all stored on iCloud. I don't need all this garbage. I don't need to save to my computer. I don't need to save to my hard drive. Okay, well, maybe, but what if, just stick with me here, what if one day some organization decides that they're going to attack the first world countries by taking out communications, and they attack Apple and they take out all of their servers? There will be no saved photos for you. Let's say, on the other hand, if your house burns down with your phone and your computer and your external hard drive in it, now you have your photos backed up on your iCloud, right? And before iCloud, I used to keep an external hard drive at my mom's house, so that, or at my mother-in-law's house, so that I had the photos saved in more than one place, just in case, let's say, our house burnt down, and I didn't have any photos, right? So that is my little blurb on digital photography and organization. I hope this helps someone, anyone, and I hope you have learned something today. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button and give it a thumbs up. If you would like to see more of my videos, it would make my day to have you as a subscriber. Just click that subscribe button and be sure to hit that notification bell if you want to be notified when a new video goes up. Thanks so much for watching today, and have a fantastic day, everyone. Bye for now.